Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Alienware Area 51 Dota 2 Cup. I'm LD, your host, and I'm joined here by DJ WinteR. Hey WinteR, how you doing? You with
DJ
you
Winter.
with me, buddy?
DJ Winter. Really?
You should watch the stream right now. You were rocking out to the rats, man. You already forgot? You were syncing up the rat pictures with the music. It was a thing of beauty. I don't know, guys. WinteR appears to be incommunicado. He's too busy mixing, but we've got a game two on our hands. This is a best of three. Tinker taking on Virtus.pro, and right now, Tinker are winning. They're up 1-0. They ratted their way to victory. Some great individual Rubik play by Jerax, and just a draft tailor-made for Bulldog to thrive in.
And we're gonna watch X. It's a hero that has been like risen to a first pick, first ban material recently. He has taken over like all the other offlaners, the Centaur, the Tide, like any other offlaners. Now X is like number one offlaner, or even jungling a greedy support or something like that. But it's usually used as a hero that to contest. You can use it to contest the lane, or you can do like normal offlane with X and just jungle later on. There's so many usages with the hero.
It's just a very suitable hero for the current style. Great initiator, can fight all the time, and we've seen teams more and more picking heroes that have low cooldowns. Like Brewmaster, probably the one big team fight hero that's still picked up regularly, but we're seeing a lot less Tide Hunter, occasional Puck, but even the Puck ulti isn't that long of a cooldown. A lot less Faceless Void, who also got nerfed in his own right. It feels
Mhm.
like the teams in general really like these heroes that can just fight every 20, 30 seconds, especially in the CIS scene.
You know what's the next hero? Morphling is gonna take over. He has 10-second cooldown on his initiation. So
You're
you
all
wanna fight?
aboard the Morphling. First you were telling me about support Morphling, and now you're telling me about the offlane Morphling WinteR. It has not hit Europe yet though. At least not in officials.
I'll show you next week when I'm there.
Drow Ranger will be the choice for Virtus.pro as far as their third ban goes. So they see this Venge Puck often does go with the Drow Visage. I think probably the two most popular heroes to pick up
Yeah,
with those.
the triple call would always be most likely Drow, Puck, and a Wind Ranger, so that you have a lot of like three range heroes, a lot of damage in the lane,
And you
and
still have
Puck
some
will
team
serve.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, Puck will serve as the initiating team fight. Wind Runner is like utility. Wind Ranger's utility damage or initiation, and obviously the whole lineup is really good together as a unit. So yeah, the Drow Ranger ban is expected here when you see a bench usually.
Fourth ban now for Tinker. They already see two cores picked up, so most likely going to ban another support. What do you ban for VP supports? Dazzle and Venge are
Mm,
already gone. Those are their
A
two
A
favorites.
maybe the AA, because the AA would provide a lot of potential to the X where you can always kill. So that's something VP like to run a lot as well.
There's also Skywrath. I guess that goes pretty well with Axe. Something
hmm
VP could
Yeah,
maybe pick up here.
yeah, but that's not global, yeah.
That's true.
Um, I don't see something that in particular that you want to ban right away when you see the enemy having X or Lycan. There are like just multiple things that will work well with it. So okay, they're gonna take out the Ember, so stopping Virtus.pro from having too much face rush, Ember, Lycan, and X, and they are all red in color. I don't know if that's a thing, but
They actually banned the G Ember. All right. Even though they already have two cores, I guess they did not pick a G hero yet. And VP did ban Storm, and he can be one of the better cores to shut down an Ember. You get the Orchid, you've already got a Puck, you have a lot of tools to lock down and pick them off in the mid game. So I think Tinker a bit worried that VP were gearing up for that Storm pick, and it would be a Storm with a Lycan, which, as we saw last game, is a very scary partnership to fight against.
yeah, and now Virtus.pro they have X initiating, like they sort of need they have a few ways to go about their situation right now. Either they go for another core that farms and X will just take the fighting role or space making role, or they can actually go for another team fight hero, which means the Lycan will have all the space in the world to farm the whole map and two tempo control heroes, X plus someone else. there's two ways to go about their draft right now. So I'll be interested to see what they're actually going to look forward against Team Tinker's lineup, which is very sort of like they can fight, they can split push, and a lot of ganking potential early on. So I'm not sure what is WinteR going to choose right now to actually go against that.
Well, they go now for the Koikfa Invoker. The last time they ran this, it was with a full aura strat, basically. Well, they had the troll, well, not an aura technically, but he had the troll ulti. They had the Venge support. They had the Bulba offlane Beastmaster, which they ran twice in that series. But having already picked up the puck, it seems they will go a different direction this time. So we'll most likely see Bulba on that. Still waiting to see what Bulldog is playing. You mentioned Naga earlier, WinteR. Up against an Axe,
This
do you think it's a Naga game?
mm, this game maybe Terrorblade would actually be good because they have a lot of auras. Then they can take Rosh quickly because if you have Naga, it doesn't open so much options on the Roshan that easily. Terrorblade will, however, provide you that, and they are on dire side this game. So that would be probably something they could actually go for if they want.
Uh,
Sup?
you're so good, dude. There are no words, WinteR. You called it, man. All right, so now you know the Bulldog Terrorblade. Tinker still with some good team fight, good pickoff potential. A nice balanced draft so far from them. VP more similar in some respects. They've got a lot of pickoff, but you look towards late game with. I wonder if Tinker's run that Quas Exhort Invoker again. Do they play it a bit greedier, or do they look for him to go around the map and just control the game with the early Quas Wex Orchid Rush? I haven't seen
both
Quakefoot
has
play it.
both has pros and cons, and if you ask me, I wouldn't say I have a clear favorite. But if I'm talking about this game itself, because it's Tinker that is picking this hero, I would say probability is higher where they go for if Quite Well is actually playing. It's gonna be Quite Well, right? Because Boba's gonna play Puck, and yeah, so it's probably gonna be a higher chance that it's an Exalt because he's much more of a farming orientated player. For example, if they're actually putting it on Sing Sing, I would say that it would maybe be a Crossbacks Evoker higher chance because of like who is playing. Like you want to get the better like the player that can be more comfortable with that particular playstyle. So
All
in
right.
this game, I would say Exalt will probably be what they want to do, more greedy.
They go for the Zeus. One of the better ways to deal with Terrorblade. Good follow up
Mhm.
for the Axe initiation. Now Axe blinks in. He's got a Mystic Flare to follow up, a Zeus ulti to follow up, and it looks like it could even be a Core Zeus this time around. And in fact, it'd be a little
Uh,
weird if it's not.
let's see. Yeah, it's actually also an option for them if they want to go for Corsius, but Corsius if enemy is I mean there's pros and cons in it again. So
Tinker are
Corsius would
expecting
mean
it because they do ban the Ogre.
yeah they ban the ogre, but Corsius would again be a lot of problem for the Terrabit, so it would also be obviously a good choice here, but it would mean that the Invoker will have a lot of farm in the lane against the Corsius. Like Zeus doesn't do much to pressure the Invoker. Invoker will have a lot of farming room in the lane, so I mean there's a trade-off of that obviously.
Ooh, a little Ancient Apparition ban here from VP. They do need a second support. It could go well with the Exhort Invoker for a little extra global presence for Team Tinker.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that?
I'm thinking they want a support that can actually more defensive type of supports right now for Tinker. I'm not sure though. I feel like maybe Shadow Demon could be a good pick because if they go for Exalt Invoker, Disruption could be a good setup for that, and they have Disruption for the X core and stuff like that. And they have melee core. Usually having Disruption is a good thing, but that support has it's actually a very similar thing. Like Tusk and Shadow Demon is the same job. A very defensive type of support to protect your carry against the Zeus and stuff.
Also a good roaming support, which Tinker,
Yeah.
even though we didn't see it much last game because they missed on the D wards, but I feel like that they wanted to roam more that game, and if they don't get caught out with an unfortunate ward, then this Tuskar Venge, a lot of potential to go killing the Zeus early on, especially.
Yeah, this Tusk, I actually think the Tusk will actually do a better job than the Shadow Demon. Yeah, I just forgot because I don't think of this hero too much. But this game, the Tusk, like you mentioned, will have a lot of space to do early game because middle lane, your mid laner is an Invoker. That naturally gives your roaming support a lot of confidence to roam because he's gonna have obviously cold snap to set up stuff, and Exalt Invoker has a lot of damage, so you would be more keen as a support to want to roam because your mid
10
has
seconds
a lot of
remaining.
killing potential. So that is also one thing to help the Tusk
5
gank a lot
seconds
early. And
remaining.
secondly, obviously the defensive capabilities. And Virtus.pro is actually going full a lot of team fight here with the Tide. They have 2 space creators, so they're going for the 2 space creator style, support Zeus, and 2 tempo controls for the Lycan to be able to have total freedom in the map.
Oh no, it's actually not support Zeus. I think they're running
What?
the single
Oh,
support
okay.
draft. They're doing the e-home strat, where you run one
Greedy.
support, run a greedy 4-position jungler, and hope for the best. It looks like anyway. Yol is handling the X.
I'm actually worried if they are going down this route because we just discussed about how much potential that the mid is going to be having to be able to gank with the Tusk and Invoker, and you're doing one support, so it actually even gives even more opportunity
10
to the enemy
seconds
team to try and gang
remaining.
your middle. But at the same time, you are Zeus, so you are one of those
5
few
seconds
middle lane heroes that
remaining.
can farm from a very safe distance. So it's also a good plus for them having the Zeus on their lineup.
You know, whenever I see this WinteR, the 4-position greedy junglers like the Axe, the Bloodseeker, it feels like the entire game plan often ends up being right about that hero. Like this game, if Axe doesn't get a fast blink and make plays, Tidehunter's probably going to get zoned out pretty hard in the off lane. Terrorblade, not easy to lane against. Certainly not with 2 supports in the area. Zeus, as you mentioned, not going to have a particularly easy time against Invoker. And Lycan in the safe lane, if he doesn't have much support, will still farm against the puck, but the puck's going to get levels to a certain extent. So it feels like they're putting a lot of eggs in this Yol Axe basket, and it could go amazingly
Yeah,
well, or it could be a disaster.
and the Tide didn't manage to get the far observer ward off this time around because Jerax has boots. He just immediately ran towards his safe lane, so he was there faster than the Tide. And the Tide, like, it leaves him basically not much options. This is the only spot you can place when you are in a this is basically the only place he can use his ward on when you're stuck in this situation. You don't have much options left.
Do you think it's worth buying that TP scroll if like every game just to get the ward out, or because we see teams do it occasionally? When should you do that, and like when should you opt to skip it? We saw the TP last game.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk after. There might be a skirmish here in the
Okay.
bottom.
The battle begins.
Tinker are not being manly right now. No skirmish.
Yeah, I think it's something that you cannot do every game because if you do it every game, then the enemy might just guess if they guess it with the sentry because usually you always have sentries at the start of the game most of the time, and you buy a TP and your ward gets dewarded, and it's just a huge loss of investment of what you are putting in. So I think you can't do it every game. Obviously, if you get it done and you get a lot of experience for it, obviously it's worth it. But you can't. I feel you can't do it every game. You have to catch the opponent by surprise when you do it, and they didn't expect it, and you get a lot from it.
So we will see that jungle axe, as we were discussing earlier. Yol going to be looking to just farm up his Tranquil Boots, his early Blink. Unlikely to do much except check runes for the next 5 to 8 minutes or so. And mid lane will be the Zeus versus Invoker. Early on, Zeus just going to spam Arc Lightning for CS. It's when that Invoker starts to get to like level 4 or 5, where you got to be a little cautious about getting out of position. And that's where the Venge, the Skywrath, may make a rotation. Jarek's sitting bottom for now, and he's going to go in. They've caught out Jottam. He thought it was just Bulba in the off lane, but he was wrong. Jarek's with a patient waiting pattern, and a holding pattern, I should say, in the tree line, able to get the first blood. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was a very patient play, and not to mention the Scarf was, I'm not sure if you actually saw, he was actually really low because he was trading with the Puck at level 1, and the Puck was like, because he thought he had house, so he just wanted to trade, and he took a lot of damage, and like Tusk just waited, and he knew that he had the opportunity to pounce there.
They kind of knew.
Really,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
that was just go ahead. Bottom lane, they're gonna go in again.
BZZ popping the Howl as he retreats out. He does have support inbound. It's actually the Axe getting involved early. Well, if you're going to dive that far, then Yo will be happy to greet you. He whiffs on the call, though. Jarek's into the trees, surrounded by the wolves, but not fully. Now heading to the left. He's going to need a few more spins to turn this. Maybe it's just Jottam who gets this kill alone. He'll have a nuke cooling down in 1 second, and with that, Jarek's snowballs. He dodges it. What a play. Now continuing to retreat out. He's going to end up living because of it. Oh my, the support Tusk getting first blood, dodging bullets like Neo in the Matrix, and living to tell the tale.
This is just such a. I mean,
And they
he's
force the
playing
axe
so well,
bottom
but
too. He stops jungling to go help them there. What a huge loss for VP.
yeah, that's why sometimes you see Axe like jungling, they get 1 point in battle hunger early on, so that they can. If this sort of situation happened, he would actually have a very high chance of getting a kill.
Now Bulba's level 3. The axe is 4, so he's still doing well as you would expect. In mid lane, G diving
mid lane,
Quakefa. He gets
Ace.
cold snapped. Can't really go for this.
Yeah, it's gonna get a lot harder for the Zeus in the next few levels because when he starts having the Fort Spirits to help him out, it's gonna be tough for the Zeus to get last hits in it.
You know, the other thing, Winter, just to finish talking about that first blood, because I feel like there was a lot more going on there than what initially it seems, is it's also because they didn't get that ward down. If they get the ward down, they would have seen there's no Tuskar top for sure, and at least been suspicious, even if they don't know exactly where he is. Oh, mid lane.
Middle lane,
Gee, getting roamed on by Jeraxi. Looks like they need one more auto tag to get this kill. They'll get it from long range from Quakefa. Meanwhile, top. Sadoy also pursued out. Everything crumbling in the laning stage for VP. Bottom lane giving up first blood, and now heroes dying top as well as mid. The only hero having a good time is the axe in the jungle.
Yeah, and you're gonna be again back into the position where you need to count on him once more to dictate what is gonna happen in your whole game for your team, because everyone is like you mentioned, you have a greedy support, this is gonna happen to your lanes.
It's just smart play by Tinker as well. As G is diving mid, he's got another Thunderbolt. Quas regen, gets off the cold snap. It's just enough with that secondary zap. He may pay with his life though as Jerax comes rolling in. He's got the ice shards ready. He'll throw him out now. G still retreating. 2 more auto attacks needed, but he's got another bottle charge up. Now he's out. Jerax just looking to run him down, pokes him with that little hacksaw or axe, I guess it is, and we'll end up getting the kill.
Yeah, that 10 movement speed, he had more than Zeus. Managed to get him to chase down.
As though being tiny and squishy isn't enough, then he's slow on top of it. Poor Zeus.
Yeah, but he deals tremendous. It makes up for being able to deal tremendous amounts of damage in a short period of time.
Otherwise, he'd be a global Skywrath, basically.
Yeah, so the task is actually going for the max Sigil build very early on. Like usually I see it, this is not something I see every time. I see it like, you know, last time when they like DK used to run it a lot on Mamoya. He likes to get like either 2 points in shard because of the damage he gives at level 1 and level 2, so your early roaming gets a lot more kill potential because of that.
Yeah,
I guess in this game,
the second point gives you double the damage, so percentage-wise it's a very efficient skill point.
Yeah, and this game probably he thinks that he's having such a good game already. Doesn't really need so much of the damage from the shots. He just wants to max his best spell, which is the Sigil.
They also have a lot of other heroes that do damage. As mid lane, there's some pursuit onto Quakefa, Jadam and G, unable to bring him down. But you've got Avenge, Sunstrike, Terrorblade who hits like a truck if he's farmed. Speaking of which, Bulldog, CS-wise, not having the easiest time. This Tidehunter has done a decent job of slowing him down in the offlane, so that is a piece of good news for VP. But yeah, they have a lot of damage, and I guess that's where Jerax just thinks, I don't really need to be the damage dealer. My team just needs more control.
Oh, top lane.
Sadoy.
Sadoy is getting caught out again.
Here comes Bulldog. He'll get right on top of him. Couldn't go for the Anchor Smash, but even through the Anchor Smash, he's just so damn slow with the reflection. Now they snowball in. The Anchor Smash doing a good amount of work to keep him alive. Sadoy still surviving. Jerax is committing all the way in, and he's going to die. Zeus ulti pop. Bulldog could fall here as well. One more Skywrath nuke might just be enough. They're even bringing in the Zeus. Can he go for the around the tree line bolt? G, searching for it. Oh, this could be huge. This could be big. What a play by G. He does it blind. No vision for that one. Pure prediction by him. Nice play.
That was such a good rotation. Yeah, that was such a good rotation. If they just lost the Tusk, it would have been really like minimal loss for them to lose just the Tuskar. But because they lost the Terrorblade, it was such a huge deal, and he got his arcane boots after that. It was just one again. Those things that you look back and replay once more and you say it's a turning point or something changed because of that.
The games between these teams, WinteR, have just been incredibly chaotic. Like, 1 second, one team seems to have a clear advantage. The next second, it's going the other team's way. We've seen advantages. Teams rise and fall. It's been like there's a new empire every couple of minutes. It'd be difficult to keep up with the history of these games if it were a class, but fortunately, that's what we have graphs for, and for now at least, it is a slight lead for VP, a 1,500 gold lead, actually pretty substantial for this stage. 1,500 experience lead as well.
Did they actually get the? Oh, they didn't actually get the first build. They just got it pure on the X jungling. They have like another extra farmer in the game.
Arax, can he get the tranquil boots? Oh, he gets them back up. That could have been dangerous. Chop is there. He'll end up surviving.
Oh my god.
He almost stole the tranquil boots or denied them.
This guy is just always making a lot of stuff happen on the map.
It just feels like he's a much flashier support player than, you know, what they had in the past.
Flashy is like one thing. I feel it's not like, being flashy is not the thing they needed the most. It's just like he's there making forcing a lot of like being present. Like you feel his presence on the map all the time. He's getting stuff done. It's not even about being flashy. It's just he's always getting the stuff done. Like getting pressure for the enemy, and they were forced to rotate heroes to actually deal with him. That alone is just so much space made for the Terrorblade, and the rest of his team is to farm.
Would you say active is the word you're looking for?
Yeah, I think active is more the word. Yeah, active.
Okay. Yeah, he's definitely been active, Jerax.
He went for bottle as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're running an Invoker, not a hero that's going to be Exhort Invoker, not likely to grab too many runes, so I feel like they have room to get this bottle.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like some players would have gone for Tranquils and maybe a Medallion. Medallion is really good on us.
And they do have a pretty early Roche light up. You mentioned already the Terrorblade Venge combination with the Metamorphosis. You hit very hard, so we'll see. Still, the Roche is an option for this team with the Exhort Invoker as well. They can go quite early. And now he's got double Forge Spirit.
So this is going to be the time I think is going to just focus on farming their lanes with their Midas on Invoker and stuff, and trying to get a timing to get Roshan. And VP will be the ones more keen to actually find kills with. How far is the X? Oh, okay, X has Blink already now, so they're going to be the ones more keen to find fights with the Ravage and the Blink.
All eyes fixed on Yol as they post up with BZZ here in the bottom lane. But there's a Dire Ward. I think did they see the Courier? No, maybe not. He's TPing top anyway. And this teleport is not spotted. So it looks like he may still have a chance to catch them off guard.
Oh, yeah.
Swinging in. They have Ravage as well. If they can kill Bulldog, it would be huge.
They don't have swap to save him, though, so a call would mean that they TB with a Zeus ulti.
And they have Zeus ulti, yeah. It's a very easy kill if they get the call. And, well, Ravage thrown out. Zeus ulti, then a chop. Quick and dirty, but they do it. Meanwhile, bottom, they get the Lycan, who is snowballed. He's now stunned by the puck ulti. He's running to the north. BZZ into the trees, but no TP. Not going anywhere. A Terrorblade in exchange for a Lycan. But it did cost them a Ravage there, so it was a pretty big commitment for that Terrorblade kill.
Yeah, they were just worried that he didn't get enough spins at the get-go, so they were worried they didn't get enough damage before he stunned, so it was just better safe than sorry. Even though he felt like they didn't need the Ravage, but Quackball is in a bit of trouble here. Axe is gonna get him.
Yo, with well, we were talking about it, WinteR, the importance of the Axe making plays, and he's been making them. Yo, unlucky a bit on that bottom gank that he didn't get more spins early on when he tried to counter gank, but now that the Blake's out, he's 2 for 2 on these rotations. And it's turning the game on its head in favor of VP. Now up by 2,500 gold and 3,500 experience, and continuing to climb.
I would say the bottom kill was. I mean, he did the rotation was right. He just was like he didn't have 1 point. Like some players would have actually go Battle Hunger 1 point. I understand it's level 3 and you always would want to have 2 points in Helix and 1 point in Berserker's Call. But yeah, sometimes if you have that 1 point in Hunger, you just like. I mean, he did the right play though, coming to help his team at bottom. It's just unfortunate he didn't have, and he missed the call as well, like you mentioned earlier during the game.
Yeah,
so I felt
he seems to be heating up now.
It's heating up.
He's getting a little. He's got the red face. You know, he's nice and warm. He's trying to melt that Tuskar's icy heart. Show him your love. A little friendly spin here or there.
Second smoke coming in. X wants to go again.
Yeah, but there's another good Dire ward. I have to say, Tinker have done a really good job at getting these aggressive wards up. Both games now.
Yeah,
The games that I
that's
cast
actually
yesterday, when Sing went for his aggressive wards, he would just like walk up the hill with no vision. He got de-warded multiple times, but they've been able to get these wards up with normally I guess it's been Jerax for the most part without it being spotted or de-warded, and it is helping them to spot the X's movements to a large extent.
This is something very small, but you can tell the team is getting more organized with the wards placement. This is all the small things that when your team is more organized, you get better placements and stuff, better map control and stuff like that. And they're gonna try to go around the tide. He doesn't have Ravage though, so
He doesn't have a TP because he
get
just used it to come in. Snowball's going to be there. They now, well, they throw out the Sigil, but he's rather tanky, and I don't know if they want to commit too much. Sing retreating to the right, but chasing him down is Yol. They get the Zeus onto him, and that's a hasted Zeus. As Sadoy will fall, he's left alone by his team, who are busy, just had eyes on the prize going for that easy Venge kill. So it's a tide for Avenge in the end.
Here comes the Zeus. He's gonna go from behind. Is he gonna get the Terrorblade?
He gets off one nuke. He doesn't have mana for his ulti, though. Oh, gee. Just a bit short still. Axe coming in. And now looking for the chop. A bit too early on that one, but Bulldog, no more Sunder. He already popped it. Will end up going down. And the trade is the Skywrath that he jumped on, so.
That was still really good for VP. They got the TB. Mission accomplished.
There's a slight win here for Tinker. It looks like they're going to get the tower mid for Koikfa. But yeah, the Terrorblade continues to die.
Sunstrike the Zeus. Oh, they have vision there. They saw the Zeus. Smack bang. Right.
That's another prediction play. He was off vision at that point, but sees him running back and just expects him to keep on running straight, it looks like.
Yeah, just didn't expect that vision. That's like no chance he dodges that unless.
That's really impressive by Koikfa. While he's taking the tower, there's a TP coming in mid. He backs off and he sunstrikes at pretty much at the same time. And now they know there's a ward.
They got the last hit on the. He got the last hit on the tower as well. So that was So they know there's vision there. Going to take it off. And let's look at the item on the Lycans progression. The Lycans item progression now. He's still hasn't got any Necrobooks inside yet. Maybe thinking whether he wants to go for a BKB this game because of the amount of stuns that the enemy has. There's just so many things that can interrupt him.
We'll see what the choice is. For now, they managed to de-ward, but it took them 2 centuries. So even then, it's still a pretty big investment just to try and clear out some of this Tinker vision off the map.
And the Axe is not going to go for a Blade Mail, which we saw the other day, which was really popular among the players. He's going to go for Axe Scepter right away, lowering the threshold of the ultimate significantly, so you get easy kills on Avenge and especially Terrorblade as well.
Y'all moving in, looking for the blink initiation onto Sing. Can he get it? Oh, they Zeus ult, or now they get the vision. Jumping on to Sing, they'll dunk him. And now wrapping back for the tower. Can they take that as well? They have a Ravage here. It's going to be tough for Tinker to fight into this, and they're not going to try. They TP Jerax out. They now look to jump bottom instead with Koikfa rotating in. Bulba has the coil, but a smoke pop by BZZ from the side shop right at this moment as he's going to dodge his way back.
Is he going to try and solo the Rosh right now? Try and sneak a Rosh?
He's got nobody even in the...
Look at who is nearby again to actually see what's going on.
Already scouting. Oh, hello, BZZ. Oh, what you doing, buddy? Where are you going?
Man, he's just reading the game very well. Like, you know that he is always like usually a captain type of player. He's always considering the options. What can my opponent do right now? What are they trying to do? And he's just there all the time at the right place at the right time.
Do VP want to defend this tower? They do have Ravage, but there's a lot of burst damage waiting for anyone who TPs in. They do bring in the Axe to start. He's thinking about a blink initiation. Now from the sideline comes the Lycan. About to engage. BZZ now Morphine. They're going to fight this. Sadoy has the Ravage online. Bulldog's got to be careful. The Ravage comes through. They need to get this call off quickly, and, well, they don't manage to kill off the Terrorblade just yet. The Snowball keeping him alive now, rolling him back towards safety. Ends up going down anyway to the Thunder God's Wrath, but... or just to the Thunderbolt, I should say, but they made a damn good effort to keep him alive. Sing also gonna fall. Looks like one more swipe of those claws. He's running. He's still alive. Finally pecked down, and on the other side of the fight, they ended up losing the Invoker towards the end there as well. So a 2 for 4. the big snowball save just wasn't quite enough, WinteR.
It was also rather unfortunate though when he tried to sunder the axe and then some spell came in and damaged the axe, so the axe didn't have more HP for the Terrorblade to sunder, and he's just like, he probably would have lived a little more and dealt more damage. Maybe they got another extra kill also, but that was just rather unfortunate for them. But the idea was there though. You could see the reason why they picked this type of supports. The Vayne swapped the Terrorblade, the Snowball tried to keep him alive. They just did everything possible, but he still died.
That really seems to be the popular support style in Europe right now. We see a couple of aggressive roamers, but a lot of these very strong defensive supports. A little Abaddon, a lot of Dazzle, a lot of Venge, and now some Tusk.
You know what you should do when the enemy has this type of supports? You pick Silencer.
Just global and jump them and kill them off.
I'm serious, dude. Like there's like no other better way to actually deal with it. Like when the enemy has greedy, like very defensive type of supports like this. You have to have like a hero like Silencer, which you can just basically shut them down without being anywhere near the vicinity.
Well, Bulldog has been kept down a bit now. He's sitting on 4 deaths. Despite the defensive supports, they have not been able to keep him alive. Partially just slightly unfortunate timing. The top gank, Sing Sing didn't have his ulti yet. Bottom lane, as you mentioned, the Sunder wasn't an ideal Sunder, but for whatever reason, the defensive support's just not panning out that well for Tinker. They now smoke, making their way into the Roche Pit, and with the Necro 3 now out, as well as Alacrity and Double Forge, this will drop pretty damn quickly. Uncontested by VP.
This is still really late though for the lineup they have. 18 minutes.
The Wolves are coming in.
Usually this happens maybe around 13 or 14 minutes. Wolves are gonna be too late. They have Necro, or they don't have Necro 3 yet. It's a Necro. Oh, it's actually a Necro 3, so they're gonna see the Wolves regardless. But they put the Aegis. They didn't put the Aegis on Bulldog. They actually put the Aegis on quite far, which is surprising for me. I feel Bulldog needs. I don't know. I just feel he needs it very badly.
He's just constantly being pressured this game, and they have so much burst.
Yeah.
He's got 900 health. You blink, call, Ravage, and Zeus ult, and he's pretty much dead from full health.
He needs to get like, this is a game where you really have to get like BKB on a Terrorblade. Usually you just don't want to get BKB on Terrorblades. You just want to get all the stat items as much as possible. But this game BKB is something.
Against the Zeus, it feels just mandatory. Maybe if you're ahead, you can skip it.
Yeah, probably if only you're ahead. But otherwise, you would always, I think, being forced to go to get a BKB against the Zeus. Otherwise, he's just gonna kill you so easily.
Well, Sing Sing on a deep warding mission. They've been getting better at placing these, and it looks like he's gonna be able to plant one in the mid lane.
This is something like he's been doing like in the past 2 games. Like if you notice, like, this is really good way of playing the supports. When you know the enemy, you see the enemy teams, then you try your best to find a time to actually place all these observer wards. Place like, you just can't really tell how much it does for your team, but it's actually a lot of info all the time if you get so many deep wards down the enemy territory.
He was trying to do this. He was trying to do the same thing yesterday, but it felt very forced. Like, there'd be heroes off the map, he wouldn't have any vision, but this time when he's going for them, it's just a better timing. There's heroes showing mid, he's already got heroes pushing out the bottom lane, his team's nearby in the jungle, and it's just a more natural time to go and do it. It feels like he's finding better timings to go for those types of plays.
Yeah, you just get better every time you do it. Like, you do the same thing oh, here comes the axe, he's not gonna get a call off.
Oh no, those ice shards are not very helpful here. Oh, now the Ravage, on to 2, big jump in from Sonoy, and they does Ghost Wall. Koikfa, is their Berserker's call, in 3 seconds he'll have it. They now throw out some lightning bolts from the Zeus, he's coming in hot, but it looks like they won't find him. Nice TP out, and Invoker will make it back to safety.
He probably would have died if because the axe missed the ultimate. Then he didn't have the, like, if he hit the ultimate, he would have another ultimate for the Invoker, and they probably got 2 kills.
So Zeus has gone Bloodstone. We do not see Bloodstone very often on this hero.
I think this build is good this game because they have only 1 DPS hero, which is the Lycan, so that Zeus can play more of like a very, like, you become a very strong core. S4 plays like this as well. You get Dagon after Bloodstone.
So you don't
So
think?
you,
So do you skip all your utility items and just go like straight into the Dagon? You think?
Yeah, you go Dagon and Ethereal Blade after this.
Okay, Sadoy getting caught up by a coil by Bulba. I don't know if that's good enough though. They're pursuing, but now the Silence Mystic Flare comes out, destroying Sing Sing. Quickfa also nearly finished off by this. They snowball their way in. Are they really committing? They're gonna go in deep. Now, I believe he still has the Aegis. BZZ, though, working his way through Jerax's mana pool. He doesn't have much left. Will end up going down, and to the right, Koikfa and Bulba combining, but there's a Bloodstone Suicide, so no kill there. Now Bulba in danger. It's not a highly leveled phase shift, so he can't really escape. Koikfa has the Blake. Well, the Aegis carrier, the one they don't kill. Zeus will end up ulting. Oh, no. Now, trouble. Trouble for Koikfa. He'll Ghost Walk. Necro 2.
Okay.
The Necro 3 recipe is in the stash. Oh, that's unfortunate.
They overextended there though. They tried to chase too much, but Terrorblade didn't die, so that's at least good news for them. But they're gonna probably lose this tier 2. Yeah, they're gonna lose the tier 2.
They gotta be careful about defending this. It looks like they want to go in on VP. Concussive shot comes out. See ya, Sing Sing. VP starting to find their footing here in game number 2. Now pulling away to a 7,500 gold lead, a 13,000 experience lead, and rising. And they're taking tower after tower, objective after objective. Removing the Aegis, and wiping out 4 heroes, now taking a tier 2 mid. They start to really ramp up, and, well, we're talking a lot about aggressive observer wards. Here's another one placed near that Dire base.
Yeah, and going back to what you were discussing about with me about the Zeus item progression, like I think this is more of like going the Bloodstone Dagon with Blink is more of a core build. You either go Blink or 4 stuff, then the Bloodstone and Dagon, because of the way their lineup is. They have only one carry to farm, like the other 2 are tempo controllers, so your Zeus, it's more likely your Zeus plays into a more core role, which is this item build. Or you go for, the other build you go for is like the Refresher Acceptor build. That I think you go for that when your team has a lot more right click damage, like more than one hero that can do right
Just
click
to
damage,
finish
then you
off
go on.
retreating heroes. Oh, Bulldog. Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is bad. Jumped, and the Mystic Flare call combination shows its strength. Just nothing he can do against that. And they just have not been able... Terrorblade has not been protected at all this game. 1 in 5. Every time they've gone for him, they've tried in the one fight with the snowball from Jerax, but we've yet to see a good save actually work out. No defensive swaps that have really saved him. No snowballs that have ended up turning the fights. You could see the idea behind the Tinker Draft, but it's just not being executed well enough.
Yeah, they had their moments, but it was just like he was still gonna die even after all the swap and snowball.
Might be a quick one, WinteR.
They're gonna lose.
They're already getting Rexed.
Yeah, they are too far behind here. They're not gonna be able to defend this Rex, and yeah, it's gonna be a free double Rex for them. They're just gonna back off after this.
One lane of Rex.
I feel they didn't. You know, one of the reasons why Bulldog's dying a lot is they didn't. Like Terrorblade is a type of carrier which I feel he needs a lot of space, right? And you're running an Exalt Invoker, which I feel probably some other teams would have actually run the Quaspex Invoker.
Yeah,
because the Terrorblade needs a lot of space.
We were discussing it in the draft, and at the time, I think you said you weren't really sure. But looking back on it, do you feel like the Quaswex is the way to go here?
I think it depends on the team. Like, I wasn't sure because every team would have obviously different priorities. Like, if you put this draft on Cloud9, and they would have obviously put on Fata on a Quaspex Invoker, that would have been what they would have gone for because of team preferences. That's why I didn't feel, I wasn't sure of how Tinker would proceed to do this. I just guessed it would be an Exalt Invoker because how Quackwa is as a player. But it's affecting their team's playstyle because the Terrorblade needs too much space and they are not making enough space for the Terrorblade.
And the Terrorblade is a much easier hero to gank than the Lycan. You don't have the... Yeah, you've got the ultimate, but they have so much burst and lockdown that he's rarely able to get Sunder off, and even when he does, then he gets burst down again from full HP to none, and he doesn't have the more than max move speed escape mechanism to be able to play aggressively and live to tell the tale.
Not to mention, if you look at VP's lineup, what EMP will actually do to the X and the Titan.
It would be really good against them, as Tuskar just gets jumped and destroyed top lane. Was looking bottom, but they wanted to track down Koikfa. They'll take a support, but this prized Invoker is still what they're searching for. Blink in from Yol, blink out from Koikfa, and now a swap in. They bring Yol deep behind enemy lines, but then he gets silenced. Sing Sing dunked. That's your first chop. Now the battle hunger coming out. Chop number 2. Oh, he can't quite get it. Then he gets it. The double Dunkerino. Against Team Tinkerino. 3 heroes dead. And they're chasing in. They have to clear out this
Man,
tier
look
2
at
if they want to
this.
go high ground.
Is under attack.
Look at this Lycan, he's chasing like no one's business, but I think the game is more or less almost in the bag for VP right now. They have too much of a lead and they have Lycan. They're gonna be able to end the game too quickly before the Terrorblade can come back.
Now they go now for their second lane of Rex. VP, it's a best of 3. They KO'd Alliance with ease yesterday, or 2 days ago. A 2-0 win there, but now just looking to force that deciding game 3, going blow for blow with Tinker. Bulldog trying to hold the line. They swap in again. Then the stun comes out onto BZZ. He doesn't have the BKB this time around. They do have a Ravage. Gotta be careful about overcommitting into this fight. They're waiting for the opening. Snowball will end him. And Sadoy and BZZ still hanging on G, starting to throw out the nukes. And the tree line TPing out is your Tuskar. Makes it out to safety. Nice escape with the 4-step. Ravage combination. Watch out for Bulldog. They can't save him again. He goes down. Puck not able to turn it. They Walrus punch up in the air. BZZ though, ending a killing spree. Maybe this goes their way. Zeus, the ultimate now used. Not enough to get a kill. Dagon is cooled down. Can he zap anybody else? He will. Zaps another. 2 kills now for G. And Koikfa forced back a bit, but they do end up holding the line. Only so far the buyback on the Invoker. Not too shabby, all things considered, but beware the Zeus. He throws out a bolt of Brit prematurely, still at pretty much full HP. He's just not dying in this fight. Sing Sing hanging on another bolt. The zap cooling down in 10. He won't even need it. Just ends him with a quick arc lightning. Jotum has time to walk all the way back in the fight, and we're not done just yet. That's 3. Can G make it 4? Blink to the north. G gonna chase him down. Oh, Bulba, I feel for you, my friend. I feel your pain. There's no mercy here from G. 14, 4, and 12. What a beatdown.
Good. You need to have a graph to tell, you know, in that fight how much damage the Zeus did. Oh my god.
We should check hero
majority
damage after
of
this
the-
game.
Yeah, he did majority of the damage of that fight. Hopefully someday the fight recap will tell how much each hero did. They only sum up the total damage, yeah? They don't really say how much the individual hero does.
That's where like the draft works well for a Zeus, because they have an Axe, and a Tide, and a Lycan. 3 heroes that get in the front lines. You really can't get to the Zeus. He just sits back, waits for the openings,
Yeah.
and whittles you down. And he only comes in when
That's-
you're in the killing zone.
You know, when you talk about this, you know, you come back to the draft, remember what they banned? VP? They banned Storm. That's like the only hero that can actually fly into the Zeus, or a hero like Bat Rider. And this game, because they went for Exalt Invoker, there's not much they can do to actually directly go into the Zeus that easily.
Zeus ulti coming out
Yeah,
now, and
Zeus.
they've got great vision as well. These wards plop down all over the map. Effigies are falling. This dire base in quite a bit of disarray. They're going for a desperation play. This is
Yeah,
if they
this
lose
has
this fight,
to-
this is probably
this
just
has to
GG.
They have to kill the Zeus right away.
He's got 17 Bloodstone charges. I believe he'll also have buyback if he goes down, and actually gets off the suicide. So all that commitment, still no kills to show for it. As BZZ's a bit indecisive, they want to focus Bulldog, and he does manage to get off a Sunder, it looks like, but still forced to run away. The Ravage follows him. They bring him down. They now work on the Bulba. It's 3 dead. The rest are scattering to the wind. Zeus already back in the fight. He's sitting mid. He threw out the ult, and he's just walking down the lane. He has full confidence in his team, finishing off what's remaining of the Tinker lineup. They continue to retreat. Tuskar finished off. Koikfa still on the run, and G trying to track him down, but won't be able to get a raid. So your Tuskar also falls. And in the end, it's a 4 for 2, but one of those was a Bloodstone deny. And that looks to be a second lane of Rax, probably GG. Gets another snipe
That's
though on
right.
the
It's
axe. Wow,
Yeah,
nice snipe. And Yol's just making faces. He's like, how did you see me? Again with the big prediction plays from Koikfa. Swap in from Sing Sing, but the quick taser. Oh man, nice swap, dude. That hurts. They haven't yet ended the game, but the buybacks are really starting to add up. And now Jarex, as he comes in, will be ended by G, who blinks forward. The Dagon 5 coined out in 1 second. He
Dagon.
gets it too. Tasers him into submission. A triple for G. Out of control. 17, 5, and 12.
It's GG for them. But yeah, you could see how much the Zeus could do when enemy doesn't have BKB.
Has fallen.
No hero has BKB. Not even one.
bottom barracks has fallen.
They wish they did. That's for damn sure. Well, WinteR, this best of 3 is going the
I'm not sure
distance.
though. I feel the crucial part of the game, there were a lot of small things that happened that sort of had an effect in the early game, but I just feel after you watch the whole game, how it panned out, it just feels like, for me, it feels the Terrorblade didn't have enough space, and it comes down to the Invoker going for the Exalt build instead of, like, obviously it's a team decision, but it feels, you know, like the Terrorblade didn't have enough room to grow and to become that monster that he's going to become at some point of the game.
WinteR, with that, this best of 3 goes to a game 3. We've got our deciding match coming up next, guys. It's going to be VP and Tanker locking horns. Only one of these teams goes to the grand finals. You've been watching the Alienware Area 51 Dota 2 Cup, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I'm LD. Of course, he's WinteR. You can follow him on Twitter at WinteRDota. We'll return momentarily for that deciding game 3. Stay with us.